Good morning, everyone. This is Tea Time with Keisha. This morning, I just wanted to check in with you guys and talk a little bit about flood insurance, since I know that's like a big question mark for everyone that's wanting to buy in the Houston area. You still can buy in Houston, just like everywhere else. You have natural disasters everywhere, whether it's flooding, whether it's storms, dealing with snow or ice or mudslides or fires. There's or earthquakes. You have so many different natural disasters that you deal with. So no area, no country, no part of the world is susceptible for not having it. You just have to make sure you're very protected within those areas. And I know that Houston is, prone to flooding. Some areas are more susceptible to flooding than others in Houston. That doesn't mean that you're just safe. To be 100% safe, you just need to make sure you have flood insurance, and that's pretty much the only thing that's going to ensure your home and your belongings. So in case something drastic or terrible was to happen, you'll be okay because you have insurance to back you up. There's not a lot of people that have, hundreds of thousands of dollars just sitting around waiting, for something like flooding to happen, to be able to put their houses back together. So that's why insurance is important. You have insurance on your car, in case something was to happen. You'll be covered because you just never know when something is going to happen. It can happen in a split second. But with flooding, you do have different areas that, like I said, are more susceptible to flooding more quicker than others, which is why they do 100-year plain flood zones, 500 years, just difference in what areas would possibly, are more prone to flooding more quicker than others, depending on how much raindrop and that sort of thing. And the city is taking precautions now since Harvey hit everyone last year. So they're trying to put new systems in place as far as new buildings and that sort of thing, and even older buildings. Possibly they may end up buying areas out to build new drainage systems and that sort of thing. But you definitely want to, whether you're a homeowner or not, you want to keep, a good eye on that stuff, as it, is consistently going with the government. So you want to definitely talk with the city and see what their plans are. Maybe go to city hall meetings, your area homeowner association meetings, because pretty much everyone always talks about those sorts of things all the time in their meetings within their city or their community zoning. So you definitely want to watch out for that. Any new home owners, new first-time owners, pretty much, if you want to find out more, especially if you want legal advice, like I said before, you realtors, we can't give out legal advice, so we can't tell you legally what you should do or should not do. You would need to go and talk to an attorney. An attorney will put you in the right direction as to what you would need to do legally for whatever purpose when it comes to whatever you're trying to find out on a legal side of things, as far as those types of topics are concerned. But insurance is a big one. No matter where you live, whether you think or not your home may or may not flooding, no matter what someone has told you, oh, this area has never flooded. There's so many places that's never flooded, but it only takes just that one time for something to happen that no one expected, and then you'll be out of luck. So to prevent those sorts of things in the wake of some sort of natural disaster, you just want to make sure you're protected with flood insurance, and that is covered. FEMA does cover those sorts of things, so that's not a local thing. It's really a government thing. So that would be the person that would actually handle your flood insurance policy is FEMA. And I can attach a link to the FEMA and then also the City of Houston floodplain distribution or whatever, or district, however they name it. But I'll have those two links up there, so that way you guys can have some sort of information to go about contacting somebody that you can talk to more in depth about the different floodplains in Houston, and then also whether what type of insurance you would need, how much the cost is, which the cost is not some astronomical amount. I mean, what's, $8, $9, even $1,000 a year? That's like a very minute amount of money compared to if something was to happen to your home and then now you're up the creek, about $80,000 in repairs. So $1,000 a year, even still, that's a very, very small amount of money to pay for something, that may drastically happen to your house and be 100 times the amount. So I'll include those two links for anyone that may possibly want to delve deeper into Houston floodplains, flood zones, any new developments that's happening in that area. Of course, a lot of realtors will always keep watching that because they want to give, make sure they're watching out for their clients. But as far as like any legal advice or whatever, they're not going to give you that because they can't. But if the home is in a flood zone, they would definitely possibly know that information if they're watching that or if they're researching it themselves. A realtor would know that information. But yes, so just wanted to touch base on that because I know there's so many people out there that's wondering about the flooding and, oh my God, should I buy in this neighborhood? Should I not? And that sort of thing. No matter what neighborhood you buy in Houston, you're not going to be prone to never ever flooding. You just never know what may happen. So no matter where you buy, you live in a city that is known for flooding. So you want to have some sort of flood insurance policy in place to protect you and your belongings and your family and things like that. Because otherwise, what are you going to do? Just pick up and move to someplace else, to another state or something that may have another problem, may not be flooding. It may be snowstorms or windstorms or hailstorms, who knows what. So no matter what, you're going to need, if you own a home or anything, you own a car, even whether you are a renter, renting someone else's home or renting an apartment, you still need renter's insurance to cover your belongings or anything of value. And nowadays, pretty much if you live in an apartment, you have to have renter's insurance regardless. And then of course, if you live in someone's home for lease, some people may require, some people may not. But because they may have insurance already on their own home, but your belongings are not covered. So you definitely want to still have that policy in place. So go out and do research on, flood insurance, just so you're up to date on that information, and know, the happenings of that and what's going on. So that's my advice that I can give to you guys as far as knowing what to look out for and, what you need to already know and that sort of thing. And like I said, I can put a few links in the Dropbox so that you guys can go and check that out and call whoever you need to call and talk about flood insurance in Houston, floodplains, and those different scenarios and the areas that you want to live in. You want to do some research and see what those areas are looking like and have looked like in the past and that sort of thing. So yeah, just wanted to drop that knowledge for you guys today on this episode of Tea Time with Keisha. Tune in next week. I may be switching it up a bit, possibly bringing in some fashion for my real estate agents, as I love fashion and all things beauty. But just wanted to talk about that quick topic on flood insurance. I have to go now, as I do have my open houses today. And if you're not busy, or if you know anyone that's wanting to get into the housing market, do have them stop by my open house. I'll be at the Villas of Spring Shadows, which is off of I-10 and Gessner, over in the Spring Branch area, just a few short minutes of a drive from Memorial City Mall, Energy Corridor, City Center. So you're very local, and you're not so far out in the boondocks where you're away from society and all things living. But yeah, so if you know anyone wanting to get into the housing market, please do send them my way. They will be in very great hands. I'm an educating type of a person, so I love to talk and tell people things that they should know. I love uplifting folks and getting them any sort of knowledge that I have. They can send it over to the next person and fill them up with a lot of knowledge as well. So tune in next time for Tea Time with Keisha. Also, if you're not a subscriber on my YouTube channel, you should be. And that is Miss Ann Cole, MSANNCOL. So look me up on YouTube and do subscribe. I'll also have the link in my box to that as well, so you guys can jump on over there and send it. Also, share it with all your friends, guys. Share. I love a lot of shares. I love when you pass my information on to others. So yes, and I'll be back next weekend on Saturday morning, Tea Time with Keisha. I'm working with times. I know I started out saying 10:30, but it seems like most people get up around maybe 11 on Saturday and get on Facebook and that sort of thing. So possibly I'll be doing the Tea Time with Keisha somewhere around that time, 11-ish, possibly even closer to noon. We'll see what the subscribers are saying. But yes, tune in next Saturday for Tea Time with Keisha, guys. Please do share me with all of your friends. Until next time, hope you guys have a great Saturday and a wonderful weekend. Have a good day.